Hello everybody, it's your boy JSX4 here, and happy Easter to everybody that celebrates it. Also, let me know if you're a person that still goes to church, how was your Easter program? Was it bad or was it good? Because there's both sides to the story when it comes to an Easter program, so let me know in the comments below. We have a couple of announcements before we actually get into the actual story of Kitsune. So I revealed a character that is not from the Kitsune story, but from the anime series that I've been keep saying over a lot of these videos about, oh, I'm writing this anime series, but even though you probably don't believe me that I'm writing the anime series. But no, this is one of the characters from that series that I am writing. Now there is a very specific reason why I'm not showing the face of that character, and that's because I kind of want to save it for a video. Now, this character is important mainly because this is the first female OC character I ever drew back in 2016. That's old of a character that I've always created. Only recently have been able to, get K to help out making the model for it, but definitely this character is really important, and especially since again, over the years I've developed this character's story and developed how they are. So yeah, I definitely want to make a video talking about her. I don't know when, but probably sometime soon. And I wish I could just make honestly the series that I've been writing as an actual animation for YouTube on this, because it'll be great to just have it on YouTube so you guys can watch. But the only thing is, I don't have any type of animation skills, much less I don't have a digital tablet anymore, because again, I sold it for bills. Which leads us to segue to another thing in our last announcement, which is I have a Throwing Gifts account, which if you would like to, get me something off this wish list, then that will be perfectly fine. Also, look at that, a whole digital tablet. I wonder what I could use that for. So definitely, if you do have any type of funds, which if this is completely voluntary and you don't necessarily have to do this, but if you would like to buy that digital tablet or buy anything on this list, that will be a huge help for me, honestly. Also, my birthday is coming up, so there's some incentive, right there, hitting 21 next month. If you do have any money that you are able to spend on me, that would be perfectly nice. I'm just gonna slide this Huion tablet right over there. Honestly, it's a sexy looking tablet. Anyway, let's talk about the Kitsune story and what happened last time. So last time we talked about the Kitsune story, a lot of things was revealed. Number one, the world that we live in High School DxD is not the same High School DxD that we know. Kiva's dead, Jasper is not revealed to the group yet, Zenobia and Irina are not necessarily, friends anymore. Rias is going through an emotional time at the moment, and Akano is, not necessarily holding up things as well as she would want to, but she is trying to make sure the group is still together. And it's been very rough for everybody when it comes to this entire situation. This new girl named Shoko Toyokawa, who is also coming through and trying to kill Blue for some reason, even though she was the one that was asking for help in Blue's stream. So that's really ridiculous and a bit weird, honestly. So don't really know what's going on with that, much less Blue has a power of her own called Reject, which somehow is an ability to maybe push back what Shoko was trying to do. Honestly, it's weird. The ability is weird. We don't know what that ability is or where it came from. Also, speaking of abilities, I have a Keyblade for whatever reason. Why? I don't know. So we're gonna have to try to continue on and figure out what the hell is actually happening. Alright, so we gotta start off with Act 1 of everything. And essentially, at this point, I had to bring Blue home and essentially let her rest because, what the hell just happened with you and your random ass new powers? I don't know. So Lamine is just here, and I'm just trying to explain everything that happened. I'm just like, that's basically it. Like, I don't even know where to even go on from this point on, honestly. And so Lamine is just like, what is going on? Now Blue has powers? And that girl is on the loose too. No doubt she'll strike again. And I'm just like, that's not all. The Keyblade is mine. It's so weird. There's so many strange happenings in this world, and I don't even know if we can. And by the time I say that, suddenly Sona. And she basically comes in, and she just like, Jay, I have some good news for you. So, about the favor you asked. And so Sona sees Blue resting with no panties on, and she's just like, what happened to her? And I'm like, a weird development, but she'll be okay. And so Sona is just like, Okay, I see. Well, anyway, you'll be happy to know I was able to talk to Rias and she wants to meet with you. The plan is, I convinced her to have new candidates for the Grammary household, so you'll need to win her over. And I'm like, seriously? Alright, Sona, let's go! Party! Anyway, Sona's just like, but there is a catch though. If you really want to save Koneko, you're gonna need to become a devil. And I just paused for a minute. I'm just like, hell you mean I have to turn into that? And Sona's just like, I know that's not really something that you want to do, and I know you're against the idea, but if you want to get close, this is the only way. And I'm just like, I rebuke this in the name of the Lord. And so Sona's just like, so you're fine with Koneko getting F by Issei then? You're being incredibly selfish. And I'm just like, you sure there ain't any other way that we can do this? And Sona's just like, no. If Rias can remember you, then you'll be fine. It's temporary. And so Lamina's just like, I'll become one too. Besides, I'm the only other candidates you can pick. Blue already has been through enough as it is, and who knows what turning her into a devil will do. And so Sona's just like, then it's decided. And then she looks back at me, and she's just like, I understand your feelings on the matter, but do this for her. Koneko became normal for you because she knows how you feel about it. So when she needs you, why can't you be there for her? And I have to think about it, really think about it, and I'm just like, fine. If it means I can finally get her back, then I'll do it. And then Sona's like, good. Your meeting is in the morning. I wish you two success. And so we get into Act 2, and now we see a depressed and very sad Rias. Kind of not really wanting to deal with life right now. But Akeno is just like, Rias, you said you wanted to see the new candidates. Can't you cheer up a little? They're coming in now. And Rias sighs and fakes a personality for a little minute. And so Rias is just like, so, what makes you two feel the need to join us? And Lamine is just like, thank you for having us. We wanted to know more about the occult club and have a deeper understanding of it. We heard you're the best at this thing, so of course you wanted to join. And Rias is just like, I see. Well, you came to the... And then even though Rias was trying her best, obviously, because of what happened in the past, it's not necessarily really, letting her be able to hold up as she should. And Rias is just like, what am I doing? I won't accept this. And Akeno is just like, Rias, keep yourself together. And Rias is just like, I don't want new members. Kiba had no right to die for me. He should still be standing here, and yet he's not. It's my fault. I should have taken a hit, or come up with a plan to defeat that fallen angel. And Jay and Lamine are just listening to her, just kind of going in at this moment. And Lamine is just like, I really am sorry for your loss. Actually, we aren't really here to be a part of the club. We wanted to bring this matter up, actually. And Rias is just like, well, now you know. I'm a failure to my household. And I'm just like, yeah, you're right. You are. But if you truly want to stay that way, then keep crying. Though, I don't think that's how Kiba wanted you to live. Kiba died to keep you safe, so you can live on. If he saw you now, it would mean that his death meant nothing, because you're still living in the past. If you're crying about your past mistakes and dealing with the same loss over and over, and if that is considered living, then that is no way to live and exist. Yes, he's gone, but you're still here, and that's what matters. And then Rias is just like, keep moving forward. And Akeno even Akeno is just like going through life, not living in the past. And the same thing that happened with Sona and Tsubaki with the despair happens to Rias and Akeno. And the despair disperses from these two and essentially setting them free, letting them get back the memories that they really should have in the first place. And so Rias is just like, wait, Jay, you're here? And I'm like, so you're finally remembering. Ha! Looks like convincing and reassuring must be how to bring people back. And so I'm just like, so that's what we'll do to save the others, especially to save. And right as I say that, like literally right as I say that, Reese just ran over and just jumped over the table and pretty much just hugged and kissed me. And I'm like, Reese, that was pretty sudden, not gonna lie. And Reese is just like, I'm just happy you're okay. This world is awful, and I want you to be around me now. I'm like, I agree it's awful, but you really need to know what's going on. And I couldn't even really explain anything because Reese was just soaking this in, really. And essentially Reese was just like, not now. I want you in me. I want you to make me forget, so whip it out. And I'm just like, that's a bit sudden though. And Reese is just like, I don't want to feel the pain of what's happening. Let me forget for a while. And Lamina's even like, it's fine, Jay. Besides, I want some too. I'm just like, what? And Akano is even like, hope you're a big boy. I'm like, for once, I'm actually trying not to be lewd. And here you go being lewd. So you know what? If it'll help you, then okay. But you guys really need to know what's going on. And so we get to smashing, and it's a nice little session. Honestly, Reese got the best coup. Akano has a nice ass. Wouldn't trade that for anything. Anyway, so we get into Act 3, and after explaining the situation to Akano and Reese, and kind of seeing where we're going with this when it comes to the plan that Sona put out, me and Lamine end up becoming devils and joining the Grimmery household. And so, to get to know the team better when it comes to Jay and Lamine, we end up having to, getting some one-on-one time with each member of the Grimmery household. And essentially, Reese had put me and Koneko, for an obvious reason, together so we can kind of get to know each other a bit more. And so Reese is just like, Koneko, I want Jay to be more familiar with you and the rest of the team, so I want you to let Jay get to know you better since he's a new member of the household. And so Koneko took Jay to the library, and so Koneko is just like, sometimes I come here to read alone. And I'm just like, I see. And so Koneko's like, you probably don't care, but one of my favorite books, and we both say this at the same time, we were just like, is Osiri the Universal Assassin. See, there's only 3 people. Let me actually explain the name of that book. There's 3 people in this world that know who Osiri is, and she has nothing to do with the Kokatsu story. She has something to do with the other anime story that I've been trying to write for years now. Only 3 people know who this is. How kick-ass that lady is. Honestly, y'all better not say if y'all are watching this, y'all better not say who that person is. But y'all the only 3 that know, we're the only 3 that know who Osiri is. Anyway, basically, I'm just like, it's a manga, yeah? And Koneko was like, huh? How did you know that? And I'm just like, I read that one too. And Koneko's like, that still doesn't answer the question. And I'm just like, you wouldn't believe me if I told you. And Koneko even goes as far as think back as like, also, why did you hug me when you saw me the other day? You said I didn't remember, so what's up with that? And I'm just like, Koneko, this isn't you. Well, you're not really from this universe specifically. We were together in another universe. And Koneko was just looking and like, she was just like, another universe? We were a couple? You're right. I don't believe you. And I'm just I feel like that would be a Koneko response, honestly. But if she especially didn't know what the hell was going on. I'm just like, kinda figured. The spirit got to you too. Koneko, after the time we spent together, your heart feels nothing towards me? Not even a slight familiarity? The safe haven got destroyed and scattered all our friends. Of all the people I wanted to save, you was the first. I missed you so much. And Koneko was confused and doesn't necessarily understand what's going on, but for whatever reason, something is trying to get at Koneko and try to, make her understand that there is something here with this connection. And Koneko's just like, why do you feel warm? And I'm just like, nothing would make me happier than cuddling with you again. And so Koneko was flustered and remembers kinda a little vision of the time where Jay and Koneko had sex in the nurse's office. and essentially the promise that was made to Konako, talking about never really forgetting her ever. And essentially, while she doesn't necessarily remember the conversation, she remembers what that entire scene was like and remembers somewhat of the feeling of what happened during that moment. And Konako, remembering this, essentially push herself away from me and tries to like walk away in a sort of sense. And I'm just like, are you okay? I didn't intend to say all this, but... And then Konako just says, stay away! I need to be alone. And pretty much she runs away out the library, crying. And I'm just like, Konako, please remember. And so, Konako went to the bathroom of all places, and then she started to play with herself because she was in heat. Konako went to the bathroom and she started getting heat. So she played with herself to calm down. And so she's just going in on it. She's just pretty much going in on it. And she's just like, why am I so horny? And so she takes off her shirt and still tries to go in. And she's thinking about Issei, and she's like, Issei. And she's just fingering herself more, but it wasn't enough. And so Konako kept moaning, getting closer, but not really hitting it, even though it's about Issei, her mans. But the moment she thought about me, she kind of finished and just, felt satisfied. And then Konako was just kind of confused. She was just like, Jay? And then she checks if she came. She did. And she's just like, did he really come from another universe? And then that is the end of the story. I know, right? Weird ass, but still nonetheless. Yeah, we got some one-on-one time with Konako to figure out what the hell is going on and to kind of see where her headspace is at. And as I said before, yes, I am actually starting to pull this stuff when it comes to Konako's part from High School DxD, the potential season 5 of things, where she's supposed to go in heat and act really, really horny. So this is going to come into conflict with what's going on here. Now, obviously, it's not going to be the same as the light novel. It's not going to be the same as the potential season 5, but that is where the inspiration for this story is coming from. Now, we still have a bunch of other things that we need to solve here, like how are we going to get Konako back, because it seemed like convincing and reassuring certain people, that things happen in the other universe and, that they're going to be okay. That seems to be the trick to getting things to work in our favor, but it didn't work for Konako in a weird way. Even though she remembered something, which you would think already would be a way for her to come back, she isn't necessarily reassured. She might be convinced, but she isn't necessarily reassured. And then the fact that she is in heat and despair is playing within her heart as well is also another factor for why she can't necessarily, remember everything of what happened back in the original safe haven. So there's a ton of things that's going on here that doesn't necessarily, make a lot of sense to Konako, but hopefully as the story continues, we'll get to, eventually save her. And who the hell knows where Shoko is at this current point in time? We don't know where she is at all. So that's also another thing too we need to figure out. But definitely that is pretty much all I wanted to say for this one. Again, don't forget about the announcements. If you are really curious about who that new girl is, then please go to Twitter and check it out for yourself to see to kind of maybe have a little bit more of a clearer picture look if you want to just like zoom in and stuff. That's also a thing, as well as throne gifts, which is something that you can also help me out with if you would like to, buy me a gift for my birthday. If you would just want to, again, completely voluntary. If you want to buy a digital tablet, you can, or much less anything else that's on that website that you just want to send to me, that's also perfectly fine. This will also be practice for potential PO box openings from when we hit 100k. Just kind of testing this stuff now to see how people react to it and see how we're going to continue, if it is something that people would like to see in the future, and potentially, want to continue supporting me in that sort of way. So that's also one thing that we're doing with throwing gifts to kind of see how people react to this. So yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about for this one, so hopefully you did enjoy. If you did, be sure to like, share, subscribe, hit the bell notification on layouts. Also follow me on social to talk and let to donate to the channel. Patreon and Ko-Fi is available as well. And until then, it's your boy Jay, signing off. Have a blessed day.
Baby, say my name as if you got a fucking clue. Always caught up in the moment, not condoning what I do. I've been messing with my chemistry to find the better me. Putting thoughts up on the page in hopes that you could get to me. Been this way since legit, my brain couldn't quit. Running from my issues, roll the pain in a spliff. Fade away every hit. Nobody needed me, too afraid to commit.